Welcome back to the Ironman challenge. Now before we start, I have some exciting news. Channel memberships are now available on my channel. We have some cool loyalty badges and some even cooler emoji. Oh my. If you want to support the channel even more than you already do, please click the join button down below. And when we left off, we actually did pretty well. I almost died. And what I'm going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be fighting some looters. Going to be graduating up to fighting harder bandits. And full disclosure here, I did fight a couple of bandit parties off screen because, let's face it, you really don't want to watch looters, looter fights all the time. So basically I just fought, I believe it was 2 small bands of looters, so about 10 to 12 each. And then I joined in 2 vassal battles with some looters as well. And those vassals literally had very small amounts of units for some reason. The vassals had like 28 and 38 respectively in their armies. And I was like, okay, maybe I should, just go in there and see if I can get some relation with these vassals, because we are going to need to build up relations pretty quickly. I mean, honor is going to do quite a bit of that work anyway, so it's really not going to be that important to build up relation individually with these vassals. So it's not really necessary for me to really try hard about that, because honor, generally, what I found in the past, will give you a significant amount of relation with the vassals that could potentially join you in the future. And so you don't really need to concentrate on building up relation unless you really badly want some particular vassal to join you as soon as possible. But anyway, as you can see, we did level up. Ironman Bertild has now reached level 4, and we're going to be speccing those skills relatively soon. Basically, I'm just going to continue to put points into strength. And we have our first man-at-arms. I don't know whether you noticed that, but we have our first man-at-arms. We have our man-hunters as well, and they are going to be really good for taking prisoners because, as you can see, they actually do come with blunt weapons. So that's going to help us out quite a bit too. And I already have 1 looter prisoner here as well. And Ferentis still has not restored his HP either, amusingly enough, because we've been in a couple of battles and he hasn't taken that much damage, if any, and he's been able to restore himself relatively nicely. So here we are. This is where we currently are. I was fighting around this area for the most part, and then I saw a, relatively large band of looters. 14 is large, I guess, and I decided to chase them over here because, I don't know whether you know this, but if you've played native a little bit, then you might very well know it. There are a lot of mountain bandits in this area, and I am going to be attempting to find quite a few of those to potentially fight, because as I said earlier in this episode, we're going to try and graduate to a higher level of bandit. And if we can, I'm going to attempt to find some sea raiders. And I know, okay, sea raiders, that might be kind of difficult, but I think we can probably do it pretty easily. We just need to find the right size of bandit party. Now, what I'm going to do first, of course, is I'm just going to test my metal against some mountain bandits first, just to make sure that we have a decent idea as to how much we can actually accomplish, because I don't want to head in to a particular area like Nord territory or something and then be stuck up there and basically just not have anything to do because we can't kill the sea raiders or whatever the case may be. So we're just going to continue getting man-at-arms. Man-at-arms, I'm going to aim to get about 5 to 10 of those before we start going to Sea Raider territory, in my opinion, and then we'll see how it goes from there. Otherwise, I'm going to continue leveling up archery because I will want to use a bow later down the line. And, of course, a good way to pick up some companions, too, is to, drop by these various towns. Oh, yes. By the way, a number of people posed the question in the comments section of the previous episode, what are we going to do if we get knocked out by blunt weapons? And I'm talking about things like tournament weapons and maybe blunt, I don't even know whether there is a blunt lance. I think there probably is maybe 1 blunt lance. I know there is in Pendor, but I don't know about in native. So, basically what I'm going to say is I'm going to take it from kind of like a I know you can technically die from a real life lance in a real tournament, if you know what I mean. So if you're doing this in real life, then you have a possibility of dying in a tournament. But I'm going to say for a gameplay reason, because they use blunt weapons in the tournament and technically you are knocked out, I'm going to say that that is not going to be a game over for the Ironman challenge. The Ironman challenge should not be determined by whether you win in a tournament or not, because let's face it, you can go up against Kratos, you know, you can go up against Zarina and various other rather difficult to kill enemies, and you know, sometimes you're just not going to be able to do it. And I think it's a fair option that we will not have a game over if we lose in a tournament, because we're going to be losing money from bets, and we're going to be losing a bunch of other things as well, like, you know, dignity. But otherwise, let's see. Ah, yes, Cleffy. This is a fantastic companion for us. I'm actually going to be taking her, because she, I believe, is probably going to be one of our... I actually don't know what we're going to do with her just yet. We might make her a vassal, but I think she has decent looting from what I can remember. And I think that that's probably going to be pretty good. Oh, yeah, this is also really good for us to do. Aha, band of brigands have taken refuge in our village. Where is this village? Okay, so generally I would say that for honor perspective, from the honor perspective, I would say that taking these particular quests is really good, because you can get a decent amount of honor from it. We have a current honor of 3, and while that is really pretty bad, you know, it is better than nothing, and hopefully we will come across a couple of mountain bandits in the process. No mountain bandits at all? Okay, kind of weird. Oh well, never mind. We're going to be fighting the next tier of looter, which is indeed a bandit, and there's 16 of them. So we'll see what we can do. I think we'll be absolutely fine, to be honest. I mean, we have some pretty decent... Oh, these guys come with horses. Okay, well, this is going to be kind of interesting. Oh, some of them don't. Okay, so I have to be very wary here, because these bandits are probably going to be much better than regular looters, but I am treating them like regular looters, and that is never a good idea, is it? No, never a good idea. So let's just continue to just run by them, try and interrupt them as much as possible. Try not to get my horse killed either, because I really cannot afford... Ugh. Are you serious? I really cannot afford to buy another horse, but yes, I was kind of shocked at the revelation that my man-at-arms, my only man-at-arms, has been murdered. He had the idiotic bear tilt inside him, didn't he? He had the little voice just going like, hey, you should probably run in there against all those guys, and you should probably get murdered. Yeah, that seems like something I would do. Oh well. R.I.P. in peace. Yep. R.I.P. in peace, man-at-arms. Okay, well, as I say, the relation with the village is kind of negligible, because as I have said beforehand, we're probably not going to be using Rodok units. If I am going to be using archers, I'd probably prefer to use Vaegirs, because they just generally have a higher DPS. That's the damage per second. And, well, otherwise, it's kind of obvious what kind of infantry I'm going to use, and it's kind of obvious what kind of cavalry I'm going to use. I'm going to use Nords and Swadians, respectively. And we're going to not take any of the money or any of the items either. We're just going to gain honor from this. And let's see how much honor we actually have now. We have 4, so we gained 1 honor for that. That's pretty bad, really. That is a pretty bad gain of honor, but that's the thing. If you do a couple of those every so often, you're going to have a pretty decent time of things. All right, so now that we have Clethy, I'm going to move her to the top here just so that she can get into battle, although if I do make her into more of a... more of a passive companion, then she doesn't really need to get into battle that often, but I kind of want her to be at the front line to get as much experience as possible. So, I mean, look at this. She's actually got 2 in pathfinding, 2 in spotting, and 2 in tracking. She could be pretty good as a spotter or tracker, but I kind of want Dashavi to do that because she naturally has better spotting and better tracking. So I don't know how that's going to go at the moment. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, if we take a look at her stats, you can see here that she has a very high agility already. And her looting skill is 0. Oh, I actually thought she came with a much higher looting skill, but apparently not. But she does have decent agility, and looting is an agility skill. So I think that's probably what she's going to do, because in the end, maybe when we become a vassal or something and we want to try and, you know, raid villages to gain some extra cash quickly, then looting is going to be pretty good. And in general, making cash by looting is going to be quite good. But otherwise, I can't find any mountain bandits. I really have no idea why I can't find any of these guys. It's kind of difficult. I'm kind of surprised about this, to be honest, because I was running around before starting recording this episode, and I saw at least 2 bands of mountain bandits in the area, and I thought to myself, okay, I'm probably going to start the episode soon because I can then find these mountain bandits relatively easily, and then we can have a good time defeating them. But I guess we're going to be pretty good with them anyway. I think we're probably going to be able to win, so I don't think we should have too many difficulties. But there's always that chance that we might have some problems. Anyway, I am going to buy... I'm going to buy this thick wooden shield, and I'm going to give this to Forentis, and I'll give his old one to Clethy, and then we will probably... I don't really want to buy anything else for her, to be honest, because a good shield is pretty much all she needs for the moment, and we'll probably, hopefully, be able to give her a better weapon in due time. So, yeah, he's got a thick wooden shield now because he's a little bit more proficient at fighting, and she is going to use a regular wooden one. And she's got throwing knives, so I guess I'll just leave those on her, but they're not going to be that effective, but I guess we'll see. Anyway, I did also, by the way, go into the arena very quickly. I didn't fight anything. Basically what I did was I just asked the tournament organizer guy whether there are any tournaments going on, and he said that there are tournaments going on at Amarad, and that's very far away, and it's definitely somewhere I don't want to go right now. So I decided, hey, you know, we're probably not going to go there. Ooh, another farmer. Very nice. All right. Yeah, so as I say, this is actually a pretty good way of earning relation with villages that you're going to be recruiting units from as well. So, for example, if I want to, what I can do... yeah, I forgot about this. I was thinking to myself, oh yeah, I can just, you know, go in here, recruit, then change their relation, like I mentioned in the previous episode, the refresh technique. You can literally just, you know, change their relation, then get some additional volunteers. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen this time around because they force you into the fight immediately. But it's all right. Hopefully my man-at-arms is not going to die in this particular fight. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what you get. Iron Man Beartilt knows what's up, and hopefully he's not going to get shot in the face. Clethy, on the other hand, did get absolutely murdered. It is literally just because she has a terrible weapon. Her melee weapon is really, really bad, and I do need to do something about it. So maybe once we have gone all the way up to Nord territory and we're fighting sea raiders and things, because it seems to me like we can handle bandits pretty easily. And I think didn't we fight some forest bandits previously as well, and we were able to take those on? Yeah, I think we were able to take those on pretty simply, so I don't think we should have too many difficulties about that either. We're just going to gain some honor once again, and I can recruit 9 Swadian recruits from this. That's not too bad. That is not too bad. So now we can get another man-at-arms, Swadian footman. Now, that's the thing. I don't really want to have these recruits when we walk in to fighting sea raiders, because if we do that, we're just going to end up losing like 20 of them, because let's face it, sea raiders are just so incredibly powerful. So, I'm hoping that I can maybe find some additional bandits. I might just cut away to see if I can actually find some of these guys without just running around aimlessly. And if I have anything else to add, then you will no doubt hear about it. Alright, so I decided to go back to the mountains because I thought, hey, you know what, if I can't find any, then maybe I'm going to be able to find something by actually going up the mountains. And as you can see, I did stumble across a mountain bandit hideout, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to track these guys down without them getting attacked by a vassal, because that's what I was doing previously when I was walking around and trying to fight looters and things. I chased some mountain bandits into one of our friendly Swadian vassals, and, well, I joined the battle anyway, just for a chance at getting some loot. But it did end up in them getting most of the experience, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, anyway, this is going to test our mettle against the mountain bandit troops, and if we can deal with these guys relatively easily, even though they are far and away not as good as Sea Raiders, then we might very well consider going and attacking Sea Raiders straight up. I mean, it seems pretty easy for us so far, but this is literally us completely outnumbering the opponent in a massive way, and bear in mind that these guys are wearing some very light armor as well. And Sea Raiders are not like this. Sea Raiders are going to have chainmail on, they're going to have some very effective throwing weapon proficiency, they're going to be capable of eliminating me basically in one hit. So I'm quite worried about it, to be honest. Okay, so Nordic Sword, already wearing a Nordic Sword, but I can give this to Clethy, which is going to be really nice for her. And otherwise we've got some wooden shields. Oh, a nice hat for her as well, and some maybe some nice boots too. Not entirely sure, but you can see my money situation is dwindling rather a lot, and I'm going to need to do something about that as soon as possible. So we leveled up. Let's get another point in strength, and I'm thinking actually right now that I am just going to save this skill point and spend it in Iron Flesh and Power Strike when next we level up. So I'm just going to leave that as it is right now, and let's go and speak to Clethy and give her some new stuff. There we go, and I'm going to take away the throwing knives because personally I feel like she could do much better with a crossbow or something like that if she is going to stay back out of the fighting a little bit. Anyway, let's give her that Nordic sword, give her the helm, and I think that is going to be fine, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. All right, so that is good. All right, so I think we've done a pretty decent job now of ascertaining what our strength currently is. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to make our way back over to Suno. I'm going to check the tavern very, very quickly before we head up to Nord Territory, because I would like to get as many companions early on as I can. And usually what I'd recommend is if you don't really have any kind of time limit, or you don't really have a particular goal or anything like that, but if you're doing the Ironman challenge, then of course you want to try to, you know, progress as soon as you can, and so on and so forth. But what I'd recommend is probably, you know, once you've got a suitable enough force, maybe 30, 40 units, just go around every single town and try and pick up the companions that you really want to join you. And then, you know, then you're going to have a really, really solid base for the amount of people you have. And I'd recommend taking a look at the wiki, because it really is a personal preference thing about what kind of companions you want. Of course, some of them get on better than others with each other, but in general, I would suggest probably doing something like that so that you know exactly what you're getting and what kind of personalities you have in your army as well, because that really does makes the game, you know. You got to make sure that you have companions that you like, otherwise it's just pointless. Anyway, this doesn't seem to have any companions in here, but we might be able to find one upstairs. Slave trader, that's not really going to help us. He buys things for 50 each. So I'm just going to sell the rest. I'm actually going to sell the Nordic shield as well, even though it might be... Is it slightly better than what I'm using? It depends whether I want to trade 1 resistance for 30 durability. Sure, why not? Let's just take 2 shields just in case. I'm not going to be using a bow for a while anyway. I'm just going to try to level up my archery proficiency first. And we actually have no food, so I'm probably going to buy a little bit more food here. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. There we go. All right, so I can't really do a tournament right now either. So this is getting a bit problems, you know. This is getting a bit problems. It's not too good. It's not too good at all. I'm gonna have to head over to oh, hello, Nord Archers. Yes, I would like to fight you, Nord Archers. Could you come towards me? Yes, thank you very much. Ooh, this is great. So if you don't know, deserters generally tend to give you much more in the way of rewards than basically any other bandit party, with the exception of higher tier bandits like Sea Raiders, for example. So whenever you see a deserter party, if they are relatively high tier, or in general just higher than, you know, recruits or whatever, then you're probably going to have a pretty decent time gaining some cash from them and some much needed items as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Otherwise, let's just get our people to the top of the hill here. We have militia, I believe, that do come equipped with crossbows, so they can kind of act as a slight ranged unit for us, and we can just kind of weaken up the opponent a little bit. As you can see, my army is just so incredibly overwhelming for these guys, and I don't think we're going to have any difficulties dealing with them, but it is, you know, it is a challenge, and I'm going to need to be a bit careful about what I do. I'm being a bit headstrong in these initial battles here by running in, but they are, for the most part, ignoring me, which is quite amazing. So I'm pretty happy about that I haven't really taken any damage yet, either. And, oh yeah, I should probably... There we go. there are my settings, by the way. And I know that a bunch of people have been asking about the campaign AI, because a couple of you have attempted the Ironman challenge in the past. And thank you for letting me know about that, because I was a bit worried that, you know, I was going to fail pretty hardcore. But thankfully, seems like some of you have done pretty decently. And that is notwithstanding the campaign AI setting. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do about the setting just yet. And this thick leather jerkin is going to be really good. Padded leather, very, very nice as well. Very good. That's going to be going to Clethy and a couple of other people, I suppose. But yeah, anyway, the point is that I really don't know what I'm going to be doing about the campaign AI right now. I basically just wanted the campaign AI to be high as possible so that the various vassals that we may encounter are going to be as smart as they possibly can be. That was the only reason, with the exception of I really don't like the way that they get their units back extremely fast. So that's indeed something that I do realize about, but it is, I don't know, it's just one of those things that I'm kind of half and half about, to be honest. I don't know whether we're going to be reducing it in the future, but we're going to try our very best for the most part with it on a normal setting, and we'll see how it goes. Maybe it will go well, maybe it will go badly, but whatever the case, I'll just try as much as I can. And who knows, I probably will die before that even happens. So, you know, it probably won't make too much difference if I have it on high or not. So yeah. Anyway, let's see if we can find some Sea Raiders, shall we? We've made our way all the way up to Nord territory, and I think we can. You know what? Maybe I can do that quest. I might be able to do that quest for that guy, the Lord of Rivercheck, perhaps, and that's going to give me a whole bunch of money. And that is to eliminate a Sea Raider landing camp, and if I can find one. Ah, there it is, there it is. Okay, so, I'm kind of hoping that I can find him. Okay, so I'm just going to stand here, and maybe some Sea Raiders will appear. Out of nowhere, they will appear. Ah, there we go. We have some, well, look at that, 13 of them. That's actually really nice. Okay, so we're just going to sell this. 149. Right, yeah. Yes, we're going to need to do something quite quickly about my money situation, so hopefully I'll be able to catch up to these Sea Raiders. Okay, come on, Boyar Voldrat. You can leave this for me, thanks. Okay, those guys, they're running. Okay, 21. Yes, I'd rather fight 21. Yep, yeah, there we go. Get him. I have such a low pathfinding skill. It is embarrassing. This guy's like the Roadrunner. That is terrible. Okay, well, I'm just going to chase him to the ends of the earth then. This is generally what happens when I'm trying to fight some bandits. There we go, finally caught up with them. And now they're going to try and drink from my skull, but I will not allow it, thank you very much. Okay, so renown value is 4, because of course I do have a pretty large army at the moment. And let's see what we can do. What we're going to try to do bear in mind that this is not a, well, not an ideal area to fight by any means. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go, but probably pretty badly. Let's just say that. Okay, so my horse is taking damage already. Oh, they have some pretty lightly armored units for the most part. Look at that. Okay, so we're just going to keep our units here as much as possible. going to try and get my cavalry down here, and then we're just going to charge our infantry in from the side. This is where I'm going to employ a couple of tactics, and we're going to be a bit careful here as well. So I'm just going to tell my cavalry to charge in now because my manhunters are taking some damage from the Sea Raiders over there. Oh, we killed him. Nice. Straight up. Very nice indeed. I'm actually kind of surprised that we were able to do that. But I suppose we hit him on the head. I think that was the main reason, because some of these guys don't actually have shields on. Shields. Don't have helms on. Yeah, some of them might not have shields either, but I think they primarily do. But yeah, we are doing pretty nicely against these Sea Raiders. And these are 21. This is 21. So not too bad. And if these Manhunters can get a couple more kills, then that will mean that we can sell the other Sea Raiders and make some additional cash, which is exactly the reason why I decided to take some prisoner management. As usually in native, I will not take prisoner management because in general, getting enterprises and things like that. Oh, careful. Yeah, getting enterprises like that are going to be so much more profitable for you in the long run than taking prisoners. Of course, that depends entirely on whether you are taking Nordhuskarl's prisoner or Swadian Knights, because they can be extremely profitable too. But otherwise, 2 Sea Raiders for us right there. Very nice. And a good amount of... Oh, yes, this is some good loot. Some good loot. Nothing amazing to kind of break the bank, but not bad. Not bad. Much better than the looter loot that we were getting beforehand. And Clethy has advanced in level, which is really nice. We can level up our more man-at-arms. Yes, we've got some slave drivers as well. Very good. I'm liking it. And we're leveling up our last recruits into footmen or militia or whatever they level up into. And now we can head on back to Wercheg. And we can see if maybe we have a couple of companions here. We can also sell. Thankfully, the towns are now starting to have a pretty significant amount of dinars in there, and that's pretty nice. And we're going to give this helm to one of our companions. We'll probably give the Nordic shields to them as well. And we'll sell this. We'll sell all this stuff, I think. And I don't even know whether to really keep the short bow. It might not really make sense, but I guess we will for the moment. And let's go into the tavern. Okay, Matteld. Do I want to take her? Maybe. Borch is also here. That's kind of crazy, but I don't think we're going to be taking him because I think he's more of a bandit. And I think we're going to take Matteld because she is kind of a beast. So we're probably going to try and get her if I have enough money. Oh, she's 500. No, she's actually 500. I can't believe it. Okay, that's actually really bad. Yeah, that would have been really good for me to get her, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like I'm able to. I could go into the arena, but that's going to take a lot of time. Oh, if only there was a ransom broker here. That would make all the difference. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to level up intelligence with Clethy, and then we're going to get some looting skill. And then when she starts leveling up more, we're going to get her some trainer, and then we're also maybe going to make her into some kind of backup fighter or something like that, because we're going to need her to fight at some point, I guess. Anyway, there you go. A little bit of one-handed weapon proficiency too. And did we level up again? Yes, we leveled up again. Fantastic. So there's another point in strength. There's Iron Flesh Power Strike, and we'll get some archery. And I need some Weapon Master. Oh no, I actually have 2 in Weapon Master, so I should be able to get more than 60 in archery through proficiency points. Okay, no, that's fine as well. All right, so we are now in debt. Great. Great. Very nice. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's go over to where we can primarily find Sea Raiders, which is usually along the coast here. And let's see if I can find that guy. We have some Sea Raiders fighting some village farmers here. Oh, they're running away now. But that's okay. We might be able to catch up. Nope, never mind. Target was lost. Okay, great. That's the problem with having a pretty large army and trying to fight Sea Raiders. Ooh, this would be really nice. Basically, any of these would be really nice. I don't even mind whether they gang up on me at this point, because I think we could probably win rather handily every single time. So that might be quite cool. But otherwise, let's have a look. Who's in here? Book Merchant. This guy could actually... Oh, yeah, he could teach me, but I literally have no money. And I think I have to pay him some money to do that. So that's great, isn't it? That is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so who owns this? I need to check who owns this. Boya Mariga. I'm hopeful that he will come back at some point. We've got 7 days, just a little bit less than 7 days now to make some money. And I'm going to need to see what I can do here. Maybe I can fight these guys. There we go. Let's rush to the aid of the village farmers. There's only 8 sea raiders here, but that's better than nothing. And I think that if we could, I'd much rather get into a situation where we could fight 30, maybe even 40 sea raiders. I know that seems like a pretty extravagant amount for someone that literally only has like, what, 6, 7, I don't know, 6 man-at-arms. But I kind of want to get that additional progression as soon as possible. Let's move our infantry forward. And they're shooting at me. Look at that. They're shooting at me. They want to kill me. They know I'm doing this Ironman challenge. They know it. They certainly know it. Okay, so let's tell my cavalry to follow me as well. And we're going to see what we can do. Yeah, I don't want my horse to die. Okay, so my cavalry is having some difficulties. Let's tell my infantry to charge in, and I'm just going to keep my cavalry following me so that they don't get stopped, and they don't decide to stop themselves. And these guys have, wow, these guys have some really strong bows by the looks of things. I was kind of expecting that, after all. Okay, so let's tell our cavalry to charge in now. We're going to be playing much more of a commander-based role as well, for the most part, in the Ironman challenge. That does not mean I'm not going to get into battles, of course. I am going to go in, but we're going to try to be a little bit more careful than I usually am. All right, so there you go. We did get a little bit of relation, but the main reason I did that is it's because of the loot, of course. It's because of the loot. Okay, so we got some more people leveled up. Let's see what I can do about selling here. Right, okay. You know, I'm just going to sell this. And we're just going to sell everything that we can, really. Apart from the helms. I didn't give them helms still, did I? Okay, that seems pretty good. I still want to level up people, though. Yeah, I didn't give them helms either. Okay, so let's give Ferentis this. We'll swap out his shield. Let's just give him 2 shields. Why not? And Clethy can have 2 shields as well. This is actually better than what she was using. Give her that new helmet as well. And we'll just level these guys up because, let's face it, we're going to need more efficiency as we go forward here. And maybe we can fight those guys. Maybe. No. Why are they running? Oh, they're running. Oh, yeah. That is really harsh. Tundra bandits. Hello. There's 20 of you. Come back here, please. Yeah. That's maybe a reason why I should potentially get rid of some of my units. Just literally because then we would have a much easier time of tracking these guys down. Oh, thankfully. Okay, we got in there. Alright, so what I remember about Tiger bandits, they're kind of hard when it comes to their archery skill. They're a little bit similar to forest bandits in that way. So I'm a bit worried about them being able to snipe me from all the way over there. And do I have some shield skill? Yeah, I've got 1 in shield, so my radius of my shield is not going to be the greatest. Are they actually shooting? Yep, they do have some archery. Alright, we're going to do the same thing, even though we blatantly have a massive advantage against these guys. They don't seem to have the best gear, not like the Sea Raiders, that is, but they do have a, well, a much larger party than the ones beforehand. Whoa, look at that. They did 59 damage to my horse. Oh, and there's my horse dead. Okay, let's not die now. Let's not die now. Okay, otherwise, wow, they're actually doing some pretty significant damage. Here's the thing, I don't even mind. I don't even mind if my forces get killed at this point, because it's just going to save me some wages in general. And I'm being very careful about where I face right now, because I don't want to get shot again. But it seems like we have eliminated most of the enemy. There we go. All right. Phew. I was a bit worried there for a second. A bit more than just a little worried. Okay, so there we go. We were able to capture some more prisoners, and those guys will level up. And we've got some... Oh, Nomad Saber. Nomad Saber is actually a really good weapon if you don't like thrusting attacks. Usually I'm not a big fan of thrusting attacks, so this is a really good weapon for that. I might actually use it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to use it. Because it has cutting only... It has decent weapon reach, higher weapon reach than the Nordic sword and everything, so I think that's a pretty good weapon. This is also a decent weapon for taking units prisoner, but I would highly recommend getting something much better from a marketplace if you're wanting to do blunt weaponry. And we did gain 200 dinars from that, so that's pretty good. All right, so is Boyar Moriga not back here yet? No, he isn't. I'm kind of a bit worried about what he's doing, because I would like to be able to speak to him about eliminating that Sea Raider landing. Because that Sea Raider landing is going to be a big, big thing for us. If we can complete that task, we'll get a lot of money, we'll get a lot of experience, and we'll probably get some relation with him as well. So let's have a look and see where Boyar Moriga is. He's traveling to Rivercheck. Ah, fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. Great. Okay, so that's fantastic. Okay, wait a minute. That light lance, we're probably going to keep that because we might want to couch lance some things. So let's put that on instead of the arrows, and we'll just sell the arrows for the moment. Is there anything else here that I want to keep? I don't think so. Basically, money is king right now. I really just want money as much as possible, because if I can't pay my troops and I continue to earn debt, it's going to be really bad. And I checked the tavern already, didn't I? Yeah, I checked the tavern already. Ah, unfortunate. Okay, so we're just going to wait. There he is. Yes. Okay, there he is. And he's actually in a battle with some Sea Raiders right now. Oh, never mind. He actually won. That was very fast. All right, so there you go. Let's talk to him. Oh, he hates us. Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay, thankfully he does want to give us this task. So we're going to do this. This is going to be really difficult because, you know me, fighting in these kinds of situations with a small band of units is not really my strong suit. So we'll see how it goes. Let's try it, shall we? I'm at 81%. That's probably not pretty good, is it? Let's, we have 60 days. Okay, so I'm just literally going to wait here for some time. And I don't think we have any medic right now. We still don't have a medic. That is so awful. That really is very, very, very bad. So I'm going to need to do something about that. Ah, hello. Can I fight you? Yes, I can. Oof, oof. That was very good. Okay, fantastic. This is really good. If I take no damage from this fight, and then we can head straight in to fighting in the Sea Raider landing itself, this will be a really profitable 5 minutes or whatever it's going to take. Anyway, let's move our infantry ahead. Wow, they're actually going to be right over this hill here. If I go over that hill first, I'm probably going to end up dying. I know this from experience. You can trust me about that. Yes, I have seen it many times before. Usually I'm like, oh yes, there's a hill and there's the people. You know, there's the enemy right behind the hill, and I should really just charge straight on into them. And then thousands and thousands of javelins and throwing axes come streaming towards my head, and, well, suffice to say, it does not go too well. So anyway, we're just going to charge our cavalry in from the side here. Try and take out a couple of their archers. We are going to lose a couple of people, but that is just negligible. It's not really anything that I can really help, and it is going to help us in the long run anyway, because the people that do survive will gain more experience. They will be the ones to level up and become even stronger, and the ones that fall, while it is regrettable because I did spend some money on them, it is not a big deal. Even though we did lose 5. We really need surgery skill, don't we? Yes, we really need surgery skill. Oh well. Okay, so this is exactly what I'm wanting right here. Look at this. Just all this stuff. I'm just going to be selling all of this stuff, basically. And it is going to sell for a pretty decent amount. Nothing amazing or anything like that, but it's going to sell for quite a bit. So we're just going to go back into Rivercheck right now. This is a great way to make cash initially as well. So if you're looking for a way to make cash and you don't know where to go or anything like that, maybe you're just starting off playing Warband, or you didn't do particularly well in previous fights or something like that, then you can have a pretty decent time once you have a couple of units like this in Sea Raider territory, and you can just stay next to Rivercheck and you know, take them down. So basically what I'm going to do now is I'm going to end this episode off here. And next time we're going to be taking out the Sea Raider landing, I hope, cross fingers. And otherwise, in that time, I'm probably, in the beginning of the next episode, going to be fighting some more Sea Raiders before we kill the landing. Because if we destroy the landing beforehand, it's going to reduce the amount of Sea Raiders in the area by a pretty significant amount until something else spawns, if it does, at some point. I haven't really done that much testing on that kind of thing, but I kind of don't want to reduce the amount of Sea Raiders in the area at the moment until we have leveled up a significant amount more of our units. And you can see here they're leveling up like hotcakes right now. They're really doing a very good job at leveling up. And how am I doing? I've leveled up as well. So let's get another point in agility, and let's get another point in shield. Because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to level up agility now a little bit. Let's get some more points in archery as well. Fantastic. Okay, so yeah, that will be it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed this adventure in the Ironman challenge. I'm still very, very worried. We're still playing on this difficulty, so, you know, no jiggery pokery here, that is for sure. And yeah, let me know, by the way, any tips that you may have that could help us along our journey, because let's face it, this is a community challenge, and you know, if you're participating in it as well, then by all means let others know and let me know how you're doing in it, you know. And if you have done it before, then let us know the amount of days that you survived before succumbing to the rigors of Calradia. Anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.